All right, well, we're going to get started. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here this morning. I'm really excited and blessed to be with you and share some information that's near and dear to my heart that can definitely, hopefully, uh, help you and your family be better prepared for the uncertainties of life. And so we are broadcasting this on Facebook, and it's also going to be placed in our YouTube channel later on today. So we're going to just give it literally 5, 6 seconds for it to go ahead and load up. I think we're ready to go. So having said that, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to fire it up right now because I don't want to have people wait too long. And just once again, Angie, can you see in the slide and hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. This is something that, like I said, near and dear to my heart. Today, we're going to train on why and how to prepare an Advance Health Care Directive, which is super important, especially in this day and age. There's no real reason for it as it relates to COVID or whatever. It's just something that, again, really should be part of everyone's basic preparations for the potential of uncertainties in life. And, I got caught off guard by not having this here recently, which I'll touch upon here real briefly. But I hope that this is something that everybody here takes to heart and understands that it really is something that can save yourself and, most importantly, your loved ones a lot of grief, fighting, and so on by just simply completing a form that I'm going to show you right now how to get for free. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Every day, every single day in this country and all over the world, people are placed in a terrible position to make medical decisions for their loved ones who cannot make them for themselves. And it's a terrible thing because it's a lot of fighting, a lot of issues arise very quickly because obviously people don't know what to do. And my daughter, who's a registered nurse, she's an RN in the ICU, you should tell me stories about this, not every day, but a lot of the times that when I saw her, as to how one tragic event, let's just say an accident, turned into many with infighting between family members that nobody really knew or agreed on what they should do with mom or dad because of the fact that they were unable to choose for themselves, meaning that they were incapacitated due to the accident, the illness, whatever the case might be. And unfortunately, it's something that has a lasting impact. It has a very lasting impact with both the family members, meaning the ones that are actually going through this, as well as the patient, because obviously in many cases the desires of the patient is not being carried out simply because they quite don't understand. I had breakfast with my mom not too long ago, and I had quite my siblings were there as well, and I brought this subject up, and it was amazing how we got different answers immediately in regards to the very same subject. And I'm having a notary go to her home and complete this weekend because it's that important. And so my only goal here today is not to render legal advice because I'm not an attorney. The good news is you don't have to be an attorney in any of the 50 states to take advantage of an advanced medical directive, which I'm going to show you. They're called different things in different states. But at the end of the day, it's valid in all 50 states. And at the end, I'm going to share with you an actual link that you can go to and get the actual directive for your corresponding state absolutely free. Absolutely free. I will tell you this. I'm asking you this. And again, I'm not one that's going to sit here and preach this all day, but I will just, for my sake, knowing that I did my part to publicly put it out there, don't do this to your family. Don't do this to your kids. Don't do this to your parents. Don't do this to anybody where you put them in a position that they somehow have to magically guess what it is you would want done when you have the time and the health right now to choose for yourself. And let's just get started into a few reasons. And now, for those that don't know, I just came out of a stint. I was in the actual ICU over in Loma Linda University Hospital for the Memorial Day, the weekend. And I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't have enough time to do that. But to say that I'm here alive is an understatement. And I'm very, very glad that I am out. And the first thing that happened when I went into the actual ICU, the first thing the charge nurse asked me is, do you have an advanced health directive? That's the first thing she asked me. And my answer was no, I don't have one. And I felt like an idiot. I felt like a fool because they are the easiest things to do. And once I said no, everybody had this look like, okay, here we go again. And I told myself that if I walked out of that ICU, I was going to go ahead and get one. And lo and behold, uh, when I got out the next day, I stumbled myself over to the notary public and completed one, not just for myself, but also one for my wife. And, hopefully inspire somebody here to not do that to your family. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care how, how much you feel you might not need it. Don't do it to your family. I'm telling you right now, you're doing them a disservice. You're putting them in a terrible position, all because you just simply didn't do your part. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I don't care. I mean, it's not for me to live with. It's for you, or for somebody else to live with as well. And so that's why I'm telling you, this is something that is near and dear to my heart. And I just want to share it with you. And what you do with it is 100% up to you. I'm not going to sit here and beg you to do anything. This is a personal decision, and I respect whatever you decide to do or not do. First of all, what is a healthcare directive? Well, a healthcare directive is a written document or set of documents that are used to express your healthcare wishes when you're no longer able to personally communicate the wishes yourself. It's pretty simple, very basic questions in regards to your care. And this, came up from time to time at my home because of the fact that, like I told you, when I was in the ICU, in the stroke department of the ICU, I was the one that was in the best medical condition where I could talk. And around me, there were people who cannot do that. And it was so scary. I mean, it's probably one of the scariest things that I've gone through in my life. And along those lines, something as simple as, do you want care in case do you want to be resuscitated? Do you want to be this? Do you want to be that? That if you were to ask my family, I know for a fact what some of them would say, even though that's really not what I would have wanted. And so again, this is not having to do with being old or being sick or anything. It's just has everything to do with you being a human being. At any moment, you could suffer an accident or illness or whatever. And this will spare your loved ones the many, many fights, issues. And again, one tragedy turns into multiple tragedies just because they just don't know what you would want. And so when you're no longer able to communicate, a directive is able to do that. I would just give you 6 simple reasons why you should get one. And I hope you do. But again, like I said, like anything else, it's 100% up to you. Number one is the cost and simplicity behind it. Unlike other things that do require some help, some advice, some legal paperwork, and all this other stuff that maybe it's overwhelming, the good news is that it's very simple. And with what I'm going to send you here or give you here today, it's free. So there's literally no reason, as far as cost and complexity is concerned, to be able to do that. And so again, the advanced directives need to be in writing, but creating one comes at no cost, and it's generally an easy process. Follow the link that I'm going to give you to grab yourself the free advanced directive. I filled it out. It's a PDF you can fill out online. I printed it out. I went down to the notary public, had them notarize it, and that's it. And you don't even have to have it notarized. You can actually just have a couple witness you signing it, and there's no notary required. I did it just because I wanted it to be done ASAP, and that's the way I wanted it to be fully enforceable. The second reason that's very important as a medical directive is because it forces you to think. And I think it's a pretty cool thing because it forces you to think about things that maybe we have never in our lives thought about. Making decisions about end-of-life care is simply hard. It's never easy. Some people value prolonging of life over all else, where others prioritize relief of pain and suffering or the effects of one's care or loved ones. I mean, I don't have to tell you how many times my daughter would come home from work for the ICU, and then from there, they would just, once they know that they were going to be in a vegetative state, they would ask for the medical directive. There's no medical directive, then they have to put you there, and off they go to what they call warehouses, where they warehouse these people that are not living per se, but are technically medically alive, but in a bad shape. Regardless of what they would have wanted to be done, there was no medical directive, so therefore they go. And it's a very tough way to see a loved one exist because they're just existing, of course. And, between all the, the bed sores, this and the secondary issues that happens to the body when it's just simply not moving, it's just a hard thing to do. And if that's what you feel, bless your heart, more power to you. I'm not saying not to do that, but can imagine if you did not want to be in that position, you just never got around to tell anybody. Well, other people, especially medical personnel, are going to be making decisions for you. So it does force you to think, and there's no wrong answer. Again, I'm not telling you should end life. I'm not telling you to prolong life. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that why don't you just go ahead if you feel strong enough about how you feel, why don't you put yourself in a position to make sure everybody understands your desires? So it forces you to think. Reason number 3 is that it helps you prepare for unexpected medical situations that are not just because I didn't think for a million years I would be in the ICU. To be honest with you, my life was going to be different for the rest of my life moving moving forward. And again, when you're in that position, you think a lot. I hadn't thought so much about life and everything else. In my entire lifetime, the entire time in the ICU. And so, having said that, I'm telling you that you have to prepare yourself. Not great that you never need it, but what if? And there's a pretty good chance that something could happen. I mean, an accident, illness, disease, things that you just don't see coming, that hit you out of left field. And so, therefore, it's important that you prepare yourself. Many people think they do not need to plan for their care until they reach the later stages of life. However, end of life situations can happen to anyone. Creating an advance directive ensures you are prepared for any medical situation that may come your way. And it's up there with life insurance. It's not because you get one, you're going to all of a sudden trigger something that you're going to need it. No. I mean, you're all grown men and women. I think you need to put ignorance aside and understand that at the end of the day, the reason that I crawled my way to the notary public to get my advanced medical directive was not for me. Because if something happens to me and I'm done, it's a wrap. I'm done. When you see what it does to your loved ones, they stay behind, it's an incredibly tragic event. And so for me, it was all about my wife. It was all about my kids, to not put them in a position, because I know my wife, Marcella, would never make the decision that I would want to make for myself. I know that we would not ever see eye to eye. And for me to expect her to tell them that, no, he doesn't want to be in the vegetative state, uh, to not prolong him in that position, she would never do that. And yet I would never want to be maintained like that. I just wouldn't. And so therefore, there you go. Problem number 1, along comes one of my daughters who's a nurse, RN, and she would probably be on my side, which would be against Marcella's feelings. And there goes another big problem. It's going to continue for the rest of their lives. And my other kids come along, and all of a sudden they're going to be on my wife's side. I know that. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess that I, through my lack of actions, put them in. Whether I'm right or wrong, it's my decision. And that way you get to spare them those challenges. It comforts the family, because this is reason number 4 in AMD, or Advanced Medical Directive, comforts a family, because caregiving is very difficult. It's stressful to make an end-of-life decision for somebody you love if you don't know their wishes. And it can cause friction within family if people's views are not aligned. Completing an advance directive and sharing it with the people you love brings your family together and provides comfort to them that they are following your wishes should they need to act on your behalf. And that's very powerful. It is my wishes that they're acting upon, so therefore it removes them from the equation. And the best part is they don't have to do anything to enforce it other than present it to the medical professionals. They don't have to do anything. Now the medical professionals take over and carry out your wishes. So again, it spares them any potential challenges that they might have in seeing your wishes being carried out, but it comforts them knowing that it was ultimately your decision. Reason number 5 is provides doctors with a better understanding. Like I told you, the first question that was asked to me when they wheeled me into that ICU and there was 12 people all around me trying to work on me was, where's your directive? Do you have a healthcare directive? And my answer was no. Felt stupid as can be, for the simple fact that I, in a split second, saw how it ended, and it didn't end well for my loved ones, which is who I was worried the most about. And I don't care if you're married Maybe you're single. Yeah, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, these are decisions that need to be carried out based on what you want, not what anybody else wants. And so you might be saying, "Well, I already told my wife, or I told my husband, or I'm single, I'm not married." Well, hell, if you're by yourself, you better definitely have one of these things going on to make sure that again your wishes are are carried out. And so again, it definitely allows you because by creating an advance directive and sharing it with your doctors, you are telling them that you are informed and involved in decisions about your care. This can reinforce a meaningful relationship between you and your doctors that in turn can serve as an important source of emotional support during difficult times. And so we're going with the last one, reason number 6. An AMD speaks for you when you can't speak for yourself. And this is to everyone, not just your doctors, not just your family, but everybody. Most importantly, an advance directive makes sure you are treated the way you wish to be treated, no matter what the circumstances. Of course, if your treatment priorities change, you can change your advance directive. And that's the beauty of it. You
Just
can,
it's getting weird, man.
the, hold on. 1 second, guys. Somebody muted themselves. And so, anyways, to make a long story longer, and I'm not looking to do that, this is something that can come in and save the day, literally for yourself, for your family. And like I said, at some point, it has to stop being about us and has to be about the people we care, about the people that we love. And that's exactly what this is. And so it's simple, super simple to do. If you need help with it, don't contact me because I'm not going to help you with it. It's self-explanatory. If you need help with it, go to a notary public, have them fill it out for you, notarize it, and you're done. I'm going to show you a couple of things here in just 1 second. This is actually mine. This is what I actually printed out. This is what I actually took out to a note. It's only 13 pages, even though the one I'm going to give you has more pages. It just gives you information about the organization through AARP that gives you the actual directive for free. You can donate if you want to as a thank you, but mine is in California. Obviously, I can change this at any time. I can modify it at any time. I can rescind it at any time. But this is mine as it stands right now, and it's just 13 pages. You don't have to fill out 13 pages of stuff. It just, well, like it says here, it's literally explaining it to you how it is a power of attorney here in California. Page 1, page 2, nothing to fill out. Page 3, your basic information, who you designate. I designated my wife after my wife because my daughter, the nurse, the RN. After that one comes my other daughter. In case everybody's gone, these are blank because there's no agent's authority. And so, therefore, just what do you want to do? I don't want to prolong my life, to be honest with you. That's my personal choice. If you like it, great. If not, I respect your decision. But we're not talking about you. We're talking about me. And you get to make your choice. And hopefully, you put it in writing. And as you can see, other wishes, mine is blank. And do you want to donate anything? Yes. Your doctor info, I didn't put one in because I don't need it. And that's pretty much it. The execution, you sign it. Now you can have the first witness sign at the top, where it says first witness. The second witness signs at the bottom, and then an additional witness has to sign here. That's not a family member, and it gives you all the rules in the paperwork. And then you don't need to notarize it. I didn't go that route. I didn't want any witnesses. I didn't need them because I wanted it to be fully enforceable. So we went down to the notary public, and literally had this completed the day after I was able to walk out of the ICU and have it notarized, and it's binding, and that's all there is to it. And that's page 13 of 13, and that's all there is. Super, super simple, but yet I'm telling you right now, it is the one of the best things you can do. Because let me tell you something. When I was there and going from, I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but I was in one hospital, and when they looked at my CAT scan, I'm in a full-fledged emergency room of a big hospital, and they're telling me, "I'm sorry, we can't treat you here. We need to send you. We called an ambulance already, and we need to transfer you immediately to the Loma Linda University. See if they can treat you. And we don't think they're going to be able to treat you either, but that's up to them." And everything goes to your mind like you wouldn't believe. And the things that made me feel better under the circumstances was the life insurance policies that we all market here, meaning that if God needs me up there, then I'm coming. And if that ends up being the case, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Not money, not nothing. But as it relates to taking care of your loved ones, there was no other chance to go back and move things around to make it easier on them and so on. But taking care of your loved ones from a financial perspective was taken care of because of the products that we market here at FFS. And I'm happy to tell you that for me, this is something that made a tremendous difference. And that's why I really did focus on just knowing that if, again, God needed a general up in heaven, that I was going to go, because I do believe in the living God. And so if it was my time to go, it's my time to go. But I knew for a fact that at least my family was going to be taken care of, and everything else didn't matter. And so that's what I'm saying, that you don't have to do this. I hope you do. I think that one day we will all look back and say, man, I'm so glad that at least I did that back then. Or like me in the ICU, I feel so stupid because, see, maybe you never heard of an advanced medical directive. I had heard of it. I knew about them. I just didn't have one. And I could not plead ignorance. There's a lot of people that can plead ignorance and honestly say, I didn't even know those damn things existed. And it will fly. But the truth of the matter, the reality, if you would, is that now you know about it. Now, whether you do something or not, I could not care less, to be honest with you, because it's none of my damn business. It's your family, not mine. But I will tell you that, again, you're not going to be able to plead ignorance yourself. And so therefore, I encourage you. I just sent you via chat the link to the website where you can actually grab one for free. It starts by asking you for a particular state. I'm actually going to show it to you right now so you better understand what I'm talking about. And you'll see it here. This is a website that you're going to go to when you follow the link that I just chatted you. And you just start by selecting your state. And from there, it will just simply take you to the form for your corresponding state, whatever that state might be. Now, my recommendation to you, and by the way, in case you're watching the recording, I'm going to place the actual link in the comments section of the video on YouTube, so you can find it there, grab it, complete it, and know that you did one more thing to make sure that it's not all about you in this lifetime. It's also about the people that we claim to love so much, which we do. Do it for them. Spare them the issues, spare them the division, the fighting, and all that other good stuff that happens, unfortunately, too often, by taking responsibility for your future, your health directive as well, and you're able to do that just as well. So I send it via chat to everybody. Don't call me, don't text me asking me for the links. I'm not going to send it to you. Go to our YouTube channel. It will be there in about 2 hours, and you can use it also during your annual reviews. Don't push it on people too hard. I mean, I don't. Like I told you earlier, if you do, bless your heart. If you don't, that's your decision. It's not, it's not my family. But at least as a financial strategist advisor, that you've done your part to give people the opportunity to take care of something that's so near and dear to their heart. And it's up there with life insurance. It's free. It takes literally 20 minutes to do this. And once you do that, email it to your loved ones. You could have, like myself, I actually have because of my ongoing situation, I actually have a copy of it in my car. I have a copy of my wife's car. I mean, I'm a little, paranoid about it because I'm still going through a lot of stuff. But for the most part, like I said, just have it somewhere. Don't put it in a safe deposit box that nobody can get to. Put it somewhere at home. And if, it ever happens where it's needed, somebody can grab it or at least pull up a digital copy, because they'll accept that as well, from their phone or what have you. And you're able to go ahead and communicate your desires through that directive as well. And so again, I would encourage everybody to do that. I do want to just say one thing. There's other obviously elements that we're talking about when it comes to planning, living trust, and so on. When I sent the email yesterday telling everybody what we were going to talk about, Renee, I don't know if she's on, but she was mentioning to me the fact that she has a package that she does. I'm not, in any way, shape, or form compensated for it. I'm not getting a cut, or I don't need that. But she was mentioning that she had some kind of, I believe, a living trust package. Is that what it was, Renee? I don't know if she's on. Maybe she's not on. Okay, I was going to have her just text or chat, send everybody her phone number to the chat, because the pricing she showed me was very good if you need a living trust. But I guess she's not on. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on. if you do know her, Renee, you can reach out to her and get any information you might need as well. Any questions from anybody before we wrap it up? We're not going to make this much longer. I will tell you this, for those that are part of the FFS team, the convention, if you are, I mean, there are people that are going, there are people that are not because of COVID. I mean, that's fine. I don't care. But if you are, just know that the prices for hotels have gone through the roof in Vegas because people are just, trying to get out there and be set free and party. The block for the FFS are still being honored at the lower price. I think 149. I think. So if you haven't done so, if you want to stay at the resort, the M Resort, it's cheaper to stay there than anywhere else because the prices are like $300 a week per night on the weekends, and FFS still has the discounted rate live on the website. Any questions, comments, concerns from anybody before we wrap it up? Make sure you unmute yourself first, please. Anybody? All right. Well, no one has anything. I'm not going to make it any longer than we have to. But again, you do have the link on your actual chat. Go there. I will put it in the comment section of the YouTube video. And above all, make sure you not just like the video, but make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you subscribe because that's the number one way we communicate in places where the information stays there forever. We don't have a team website for the simple fact that we don't run a traditional business where we need to. I'm not going to maintain a website anymore. I'm done. There's so many things that I have reworked in my mind that one of the things I'm going to do is, got prescribed. Basically, I have to take it easy for a while, and I intend to do that. And I want as few things on my plate as possible. I'm not going to play the role of a webmaster and so many other things that I've done before for people that sometimes didn't even go and take advantage of it. So if you want it, go to YouTube. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to our channel, click the notifications bell. That's very important because that will notify you every time a new video pops up. You don't have to be checking, and we can go ahead and do that. Last call for questions, comments. Can you guys hear me okay? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we can hear you good,
Okay,
Javier.
cool. Perfect. Omar is asked about any place for living trust. The only person that I know I've sent people before, this is just me, has been he's actually part of our team. He's been with us for a very, very long time as well. Scott Ogata. I don't know if anybody knows him. He's a really quiet dude. He's a police officer. He was actually in the police academy with me with the LAPD. And that's the only person I've sent my clients to in the past for the living trust. He doesn't do them. It's his attorney. The attorney does them. But I will tell you that this is up there with making us feel so good that we took a tough, nasty decision out of the hands of our loved ones and into our own. Because at this point, I don't care how you feel about extending life or not extending life. Right? My decision is mine, and it's going to be carried out. Period. Everybody knows that paper is enforced. Everybody, my kids meaning, have a copy of it, at least a digital one, that I explain to them why I want that. And regardless of how some people feel, not just so you know, that doesn't mean that if you get sick, they kill you. We're not talking about that. We're talking about every reasonable means being carried out, of course, to save your life. But there comes a point when they understand that you're going to merely exist, not necessarily live. And if that's what you want, bless your heart. And like I said, my decision is my decision. Screw what the world thinks. And this way makes it easier, faster for everybody. And I hope I never go visit that damn ICU again. But if I end up in it one day, first thing I'm going to do is hand them, or have somebody hand them, my directive. And it's just that, my directive, directing my own healthcare versus people just guessing and assuming and fighting to see who gets to make the final decision on your behalf. Spare your loved ones. I'm telling you, I feel stupid. I hope you don't ever feel stupid knowing that you end up in that position, yet you forgot, or you didn't get around to it, or whatever.
Javier,
Go ahead.
if there are members retired from the military, they're able to go through the military legal office and also get their power of attorney, living wills if they so desire.
Perfect. Thank you very much. One of the things that I appreciate, and that's why I'm asking you guys for thoughts and comments, please, because there's a lot of information I don't know about. Also, what I will add to that, if there's anybody, I'm going through it right now. To make a long story longer as to what happened to me, is it results from trauma. I was actually in a fight. I was actually in a big deal when I was in the military, way back when, that actually rated me or gave me a service-connected disability rating. But at the time, they did not do an MRI or a CAT scan to catch what I have going on. I'm not in good shape. I mean, we have two arteries that go up the back of our head, our vertebral arteries to be exact. One on the right is blocked 100%. The one on the left is blocked 96, 97%. I'm not supposed to be talking to you. I'm not supposed to be alive. That's why we went from university to the hospitals to everywhere in between. They were staring at me, just wanted to know, how are you alive? And the answer to that was God. Number one is who I give the credit to, and God in His infinite wisdom and the body created what's called collaterals. And so basically, I had vessels that were hijacked, if you would, and veins and all kinds of stuff in my head that were created to bypass basically the blocked arteries, because I would have been dead. And I believe in God. Like I said, I'm not supposed to be here. And so, anyways, one of the things that we've revisited now is going back to the VA and have it get done the right way, because it's documented what happened to me when it happened to me. But at the time, because I couldn't move, they went after my back and they, quote, fixed it, got me walking and all that stuff again. But the head was never even looked into. And first thing they said, this is trauma. You got whacked on the head. It must have been a bat. It wasn't a bat, but it was bad. And that's why I am where I am right now. I'm glad to be alive. They couldn't believe I was talking. They couldn't believe I'm standing. They can't believe I'm there. Every damn doctor I went to, started with the same thing. You do realize you're not supposed to be alive. I'm like, well, so I heard, but I guess God had other plans, because here I am. And so do this for your loved ones and benefit from it as well. Last call. Any questions, comments, concerns? If not, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. Don't forget that what you do matters. And my recommendation to you is put this up there with the life insurance. When you meet with somebody, throw them the link. Whether they do it or not, it's none of your damn business. It's their business. And if they don't, bless their heart. And if they do, bless their heart. You're out of the equation. But at least you did your part by making people aware of what's there. And most importantly, my goal is to get as many of you as possible to never be able to plead ignorance again. And as of today, if you're watching me, you cannot plead ignorance against. It's a conscious decision, and that's a little different. So I say thank you for everybody. If you need anything, let me know. Until then, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.